This conference will now be recorded.
So good morning to all of you again, and this is Mahesh Kumawat, and today we are just continue the classes of what security, identity, and compliance. We have studied yesterday of identity and access management, right? Of all the theoretical, conceptual sort of things, and today we are just going to study about the Cognito, what is all about, and we will have to let you know about the inspectors. What is how can we use the inspector? The key management service is also, and we would like to speak some little bit about single sign-on and also WAF. So these are the some sort of what we have don't go for the all of the services at once, but these are the some what key services we need to take care of it, right? So let's get started. All sort of things. So this is the documentation page of AWS, right? So you can just find out all sort of all the informations about the documentation part of the AWS in a single page. So I will just send you this link to you, so you can just take a look, and then you can go for the in the depth conceptual sort of things in the AWS, all the topics on the same page, right? This is really help you to what understand the conceptual and the advanced features of any references sort of things. So we have done the computing sort of things earlier, and we have done also the storage sort of things. And after this what security classes, we have to go for some databases classes, right? And then it's your everything is done, I think, from my end. So management tools we have also done, right? Cloud trail, auto scoring sort of things, and this is also important prospects we have going for it. So different this is a solution architect examinations. These are some core services. This is important here. But if you would like to go for the professional examinations, they have some different sort of features. You have to go for it. So these are the some what the first the computing, storage, database, and some part of the security, some part of your management tools. These are the some core services of the AWS. So once you're working on a AWS environment, you will have to go for some sort of computing, storage, databases, some security, and also some other management tools on working. These are the some important sort of services we have to go for it. So let's get continue as per our topic. So I'm just going to read it. So what is Amazon Cognito is all about, and how can we use it? So dear Amazon Cognito provides authentications, authorizations, and user management for your web and mobile applications, right? So this is authentication and authorization and user management mechanism kind of web interface tool, which is used by the Cognito. Your users can sign in directly with the username and passwords, uh, password or through a third party such as Facebook, Amazon, or Google. So the thing is important here that there are different sort of third party applications you can use for two authentication, on authorization, and user management sort of things. The two main components of Amazon Cognito are the user pools and the identity pools, right? The other two pools is important here: identity and the user pools. And user pools are the user directories that provide sign up and sign in options for your application users. Identify pools enables you to grant your users access to AWS services. You can use identity pools and user pools separately or together. So this is the what authentication and authorization and user management sort of tools on the web environment for your for your mobile applications, right? And users can directly log in through the name and password and what sort of mobile numbers, different passwords, like here Facebook, Amazon, or Google, like because in this corporate environment, what happened, you have different applications. Web applications are available, Android applications are available, and mobile applications are available, and users have to log in through their Gmail account, Facebook account, or LinkedIn account, or a Twitter account sort of things. So this is a mobile application sort of things, and mobile applications you can just log in through your own different your Facebook and Amazon sort of account same times. So what happened into this? The two main components of Amazon Cognito is all about. these are the user pools. We have to create some sort of users informations in this and identity informations in this, right? And the Amazon Cognito user pool and identity pools are used together same time. Wait a second. So this is exactly the concept basically which we are just talking about. So see the diagram is in the below. In the first step, you will applications use insights and through a user pool and receives user pool tokens after a successful authentications. Suppose this is a user and user want to log into the different mobile applications or web applications. First of all, it is sending the authenticate and get the tokens from the user pools. So this is our Cognito. We have just configured Cognito have some user pools and identity pools. So user pools provide the authentications mechanisms, so sort of things to the specific user same time, right? And the second step, your applications exchange the user pools tokens to AWS credentials to an identity pool. So this is in the second the second thing is basically the identity pools providing the receive the information from this particular Cognito and then exchange the tokens for the AWS credentials same time, right? And the third is basically then when it is get the tokens, right? Identity is accessible. This is the right user, right information we need to provide it. Then it is providing the different AWS services same to the user same time. So that the user from this from the mobile applications or the web applications, first of all, it is authenticated from the Cognito user pool, right? It is check this is the user is existing in our directory in the Cognito or not. Then it is get the tokens has been exchanged with the same times. This is the like a SML, like a domain controller sort of things, provided ticketing sort of things, and then it is once it is tokens get credentials are exchanged, and then it is provided the access to the same time or different resources. So this is about basically the Cognito is all about. So these are some different user pool information, sign up informations, customized informations, right? This is the sign in with the Facebook, Google login and different sort of XML information. So you will find out. So we'll go some some advanced sort of features into this. So if we have to go into this Cognito is all about. We just going some advanced sort of things about. Yeah, there it is for you. So AWS mobile services and Amazon Cognito, right? And the introductions to the Amazon Cognito identity, how it is working, how it is identified, sort of things. Then the summary of features, and then we have to go some demo sort of things and deeper dive in the few areas, right? So if you have just checked the mobile applications have run on different applications. So these are some applications which is working on the mobile apps, right? So you can just use in the web applications. You can use it as a mobile application sort of things. So easy taxi. Suppose Uber, you have just log into the applications and then booking a taxi, right? And different sort of mobile applications into the market sort of things. So that is why we required some Cognito sort of features, so that it is provide some your personal ID password should be authentication from the Cognito, and then it is provided login to the particular applications from your mobile, right? So this is all about build and scale your applications on the AWS. So this is your mobile handset, right? And you have just log into the particular web applications or different mobile applications, and then it is the Cognito is basically used for the identity sort of things. So there is in the previous sort of things, and we required some different hardware sort of things. Then it is authentication sort of things are going on, and different things are going on. But here it is Cognito is a features is available on the AWS, so that it is authenticated from the mobile applications as well same times. So authentication of the users, it is done by the Cognito same time, and the server side logic, so Lambda functions are working same times, right? and it synchronizes as well. It is working at the same time and analyze your behavior. What is it? Amazon pinpoint is also working same times, and then targeted campaigns at the same times, right? And what is also going to store? Suppose you are going to open a web applications, and then you provide your own LinkedIn or Twitter account ID and password same time, and then you have to just authenticate it from the Cognito same time, and then you can just access the what a storage sort of things, right? Amazon S3, you can just access it, and you can then the deliver media is going to provide some cloud front sort of things, and the send push notifications from your mobile handset, and the store databases you can just access from your mobile handset, and then you test your applications from this sort of things. So this is a testing sort of things, so you can just access the all sort of informations from your mobile handset. So there is no we can say that this is a authentication, authorization, and user management sort of applications or features on the AWS Cognito is all about. And once it is authenticated, then it is sending the exchange sort of things to the Cognito to your third-party applications. Then it is going to communicate with the different sort of things. Once it is communicated, then it is you can access the S3, whatever the data will be available on the your applications is hosted on the AWS side. Then you can access the different sort of S3 objects at same time from your mobile handset, and you can also access the Amazon DynamoDB same time, right? So you can just build your applications on the AWS environment, right? Different tools is available, sign-in informations, and NoSQL databases, cloud logic, all sort of things are available. So you can use as per your requirement. So the important thing is AWS Cognito is about identity is a mission critical for applications, right? So different applications are what authentication required, authorization required, and the user management is also is a very important aspect, we can say that. So the authentications, the requirement, right? So authentication, what does it mean? Sign in users, enable federations with the enterprise identities. So federations means that different third-party applications you can use it to log into the enterprise environment, and it is going to find out which identity is there. Enable federations with the social identities, so you can social what different applications, Twitter and Facebook or sort of things, and you can just going to log in, and it is going to be authenticated same type. So second thing is authorizations, right? Protect data and operations. So there is the second operations available. You have to just protect whatever the data is all about. The authentications, once the targeted users are coming to the AWS environment, then you have to protect the data from the operations, right? Provide fine-grained access control, so provide some security sort of things. So does the required have authorizations to access this particular data or not? Suppose the AWS user authenticated from the Cognito, and then it is coming to the AWS RDS database, and the user is going to pull up or delete some sort of commands providing the same time from the mobile applications or web applications same time. But the authorizations, you can just find out what type of controls we have provided. Do the user have the delete sort of information, delete sort of commands, you can use it or not use it? So that's the authorization sort of things. And how do you manage the users into the Cognito? Users management, manage users lifecycles, and store and manage user profile data and monitor engagement. So you can just how can you store manage your profile data and manage your life cycle of the users, right? How can a user log in, how many times you can just provide a different password, and how can you manage and engaging the things sort of things as comes to the picture. So the user identity is an important part of any company. Then you can just log in to different web applications or your mobile applications, and then what's going on with this Cognito sort of thing. So this is a mechanism of authentications, authorization, and user management sort of things you can doing into the AWS through the AWS Cognito sort of things, right? So developing authorization infrastructure is difficult, right? Need to develop a reliable user directory or manage identities, right? It requires some user directory and manage some different identities, handle user data and password for protecting privacy, prioritizing scalability of your infrastructure upfront, implementing token-based authentication, support for multiple social identities providers, federation with the corporate directories on the B2E applications. This is some what difficulties of any infrastructures. like authentication sort of things. So the developers, providing some sort of informations like how to handle the password, how can you store, where is the storing of the password, how it is protect the privacy, all sort of things. And this is the how can you prioritize the scaling of your infrastructure same time, and implementing token based authentication sort of things, and support multiple social identity providers and business to customers and business to enterprise applications, how it is working. So these are some difficulties we in the facing of the infrastructure some time ago. But the Cognito is it plays a features is coming to the AWS, and it is providing some sort of solutions of all those problems at the same time, right? So handling user data and password, or protecting and privacy, all sort of things, and identities and reliable user directory is also providing same time. So that is the very important sort of aspect for the user applications on the web or on the mobile application same time. So what is it is done by the how it is done by the Cognito identity. First of all, a users to create a user pools on the AWS Cognito, right? So you can easily and securely add sign up and sign in functionality of to your mobile app and the web applications on a fully managed service that scale support hundreds of the millions of users. So you can have to just create a user pools into the AWS Cognito, and then the number, you just create a number of users into this, and then you can then the number of millions of requests is coming from this particular mobile apps or different sort of things, right? Second thing, you can just you need to create some validated identities, right? Your users can sign in the third-party identity providers such as Facebook, SML providers, and you can control access to AWS resources from your application. So you have seen validated, it means that you have to just the different third-party tool authentication mechanisms. You can use it for to log into your web applications or mobile applications same time, right? So you can the users can log in through the Facebook, the corporate SML account, or the OIDC, or different Facebook, Twitter, and some different sort of identities, right? So that is the important thing, that you can have the same cognitive identities is providing, so what the user pools you created, and then the different third-party applications you can just log into log in into the web applications. The example I can say that suppose you have just created your Gmail account, right? So in this, you can just log in through the same time in the LinkedIn account from your Gmail account, sort of things, right? So the same one identity of your Gmail account, and also it is using different entities. Like you can log in through the Twitter account with the Gmail account, and LinkedIn account, which is also synced with the your Gmail account, and some sort of more applications are available. Okay. So these are some common examples. I can say that this is things happen. So what is the architecture? How it is working at the back end of, right? So the important perspective is where first of all is the user, right? First of all, the user is going to sign in there, okay, from the third party, or you can say different applications, right? Suppose this user is logging to the Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn account, right? And then the request is going to the Cognito same time. There's a first sign in information. It's going to the Cognito user account, identities, and user pools. In the user pools, Cognito is going to check whether the user is correct one, checking some identities of the user, whether it is the right user, it's not right user, the authentications, authorization sort of things, and user management sort of things, and validated IDs he need to be checked first of all, right? And then it is the access of the ID tokens. Then if it is a authorized and the right identity of the user, then it is sending the returns the ID token same time, right? Then the second thing is going on, and then it is authentication with the Cognito and with the user account same time. Then the third aspect, if you get AWS scope and credentials, then it is going to send some credentials to the Cognito Federation identity ID pool. So it is going to log in with your Facebook, Twitter, and different account, right? Then it is AWS scope credentials are working at the same point of time, that Cognito Federation's identity pool that saying that this is the right identity of the user, and then it is he can just log into the different applications sort of things, right? And then it is going to be he can just able to access the AWS different resources same times, S3, DynamoDB, or application gateway, So what happened at the back end? The back end is happened is the user can once it is authenticated from the Cognito, right? Then what happened? The sign information, then he can use it from the Facebook, Twitter, or different accounts as AML identity provider, some different accounts, and then it is that it can be what the users can be authentication from this particular Cognito Federation identity same time. So first of all, the first step is basically sign-in informations. So this user is going to what authentication, authorization, and user management will be checked. The user pools, the user is available or not available. Then the second options will be he can just log into the Facebook, Twitter account, different applications. The different applications going to the particular Cognito Federation identity ID pool. Then it is checked that it is a right user, and then he can provide the access to the different resources of the AWS. So that is the beauty about this Cognito is basically you can use the federated identities to access your different resources of your account of your AWS, right? That is the infrastructure part. So what happened, the identity management scenarios, we have some different scenarios are available. The business to customer sort of things, right? You have the user, and the user can log into the mobile applications, and then it is same sort of authentication sort of things, and then it is you can access the different sort of accounts same time of AWS resources, you can use it. And the business to employee same time, then the user business employee basically it is going to Cognito, and then he can provide some SML federation sort of enterprise directories like Active Directory domain control sort of things, and he can access the different sources of the AWS. The business to business, and then the partner A, partner B is going to be connected with the user pools. You have just log in, and then the user can the business one is what application access from the AWS sources of things. So these are the same sort of scenarios we can use it different types, and then it is a very good mechanism for the authentication sort of things. So what is all about user pool is all about? The user pool is basically serverless authentications and user management sort of things, right? The first thing is basically is add user sign up and then sign in easily to your mobile and your web applications without worrying about server infrastructure. So you have to, first of all, you have to create a sign in information. So you have to create some other users right into this AWS. So it is a user management sort of things. It's a serverless architecture authentication sort of things. So you don't have to provide a specific server so that it will be authentication sort of things is going on. So server is going to provide by the AWS into their own, and you have to just create this user management. You have to just create the user same time. Second thing, manage user directories. Launched a simple, secure, and low cost and fully managed service to create and maintain a user directory, and that scales up hundreds of millions of users. So you have the different operations available. You can create a different number of users and different authentication sort of things, and directory it is created automatically, right? And you have to just create some low cost of managed sort of things is available. Enhance security and features that you verify phone numbers and email address and offer multi-factor authentication. So you users providing some security mechanism tool that whether the user is coming from the third-party app like Facebook, right? So you can just providing some sort of security mechanism, provide the user mobile number, so you will just get the OTP one-time password same time. Then it is a right user for this particular applications. So that sort of security features you can just include into this, right? Okay, so comprehensive user flow. So this is first of all the user is login to the particular, and then the user profile the data will be enabled on the view update sort of things, and then we can do a forward sort of things, and token based authentication we can do it. Or is basically used for the different for applications, different authentication mechanisms sort of standards. User can log into different sort of accounts same time. Email or phone number of verification sort of things we can go for it. SMS manufacture multi-factor authentication MFA we can also going to use it into this. So this is about the user flow, comprehensive sort of flows is going on, and you can hook up with the Lambda sort of functions, right? the serverless architectures, it is going to be used same times the custom authentication flow, the create authentication challenge, define authentication challenge, and determines next challenge of the customs flow, so that the Lambda and this particular Cognito is working together, and the serverless architecture is going to create. So sign up sort of informations, custom validation, accept the deny and sign up request, and then welcome message, well, customer welcome message or event logging sort of things are available at the same time, and messages customizes advanced customization and localization of the messages. So these are the what different sort of things are working together in the Cognito, and the Lambda is one of them to what hook up the same time. So first of all, you need to be aware about what Lambda is all about. If you are well aware Lambda, then these serverless architectures you can create, and then you can map this Lambda to the Cognito same time, and then you can just create some sort of things. Okay, so extensive admin capabilities, so create and manage user pools, so you can just create, modify, delete some number of user pools. So once we are going to the tomorrow we are going to some practical sort of things, so that you can easily understand what I'm talking about. But the thing is important here, what we can do with the user pools, that we can create, configure, delete, and multiple user pools in different across the regions, right? We define custom attributes, different custom attributes we can provide it. So these are the these all sort of features are available once we're going for this particular practical sort of things. And password set of policies, set up permissions, user required attribute data, such users, manage users. So these are the some options are available in the user pools sort of things, right? In the Cognito, once we're going to going for practical sort of things, and then you will just find all sort of options are in there, and then you can easily understand what is the user searching, all sort of things. Suppose you created the number of users, 1000, 2000 users, right? So you can easily search the which users you are talking about, right? So that sort of things is available. Okay, so groups and multi authentication roles. So you have the group 1, group 2, and the Cognito user pools we have created in the user group A, group B, and we have provide some different users same times. So what is important here, the IAM role is required. So we have to create some IAM users first of all, then we have to map the Cognito, right? And we can also add the group 1A, group B. So and then what happened, multiple roles and authentities we can provide it. So as a user is a user identity, suppose this is domain controller user, suppose it's the IAM users, right? Then it is get credentials is providing to the Cognito same time, but it is take the token sort of things, and then yeah, it is a valid user, is a valid authorization user, authorization and authentication going on with the same time, and then it is going to access the different sort of access from this particular resources. So what happened, we can just going to provide some sort of rules, right, to the particular user. Suppose the user have IAM policy, we can provide it. IAM rule and policy we can just configure it. So this user, what does rules is providing to a particular DynamoDB sort of things, right? Suppose this user have some rules about the S3 bucket sort of things get accessible same time. Okay, so user can log into through the mobile application same time, and then it just get, then the credentials will be verified from the Cognito, and then we can just provide the same sort of the user profile have different rules from the like IAM rules, and then it can access the whatever the things is. Suppose there is a DynamoDB, he can just read the databases, but he cannot delete the database at the same time. The user can access from this particular mobile application same time. So that is the what corporate sort of things, then very what automation sort of things we have done it, right? Your user pools and the Amazon API gateway are working together. The Lambda is also, and then the second thing is with the API gateway. So you have to understand the API gateway is all about, right? So the Amazon API gateway and the Amazon Cognito is the identity access management, and they are working together for the application sort of things. So the first thing is native support and the custom authorizer functions. They configure API gateway to accept ID tokens to authorize users based on their existence in the user pools. User pools works together with the API gateway to authorize API request and control access to the API request. Bearer tokens authentication strategies such as OAuth, API gateway, or custom authorizer feature uses breaker tokens and determined access privileges. So these are the mobile applications, and then the user can access to the Cognito, and then it is going to the API gateway. Does they have to go for the what access some of the serverless architectures coding sort of things, and then it is going to the Lambda functions are working together at the same time. So user can log in through the web applications, like, or user can access from the mobile applications, and those sort of what request is going to the Amazon Cognito, and Amazon Cognito just check with the Amazon API gateway that we have to just provide some some sort of information from the Lambda microservices is all about. So the APIs are working same times, the what API is hitting and what the APIs it means all about. Control attributes permissions, we have different permissions we can just provide into this user data, and creating users and administrators. We can also administration access is also available into the user pools, what the user can do it, how users can do it, and what needs to be done from the user. Does the user have temporary password, he can provide it or not provide it. So these are some sort of administrative sort of things he can do. We can do it. Additional user roles features for customizable email address, we can just also configure it. Admin sign in, global sign out, custom expiration. So this is a user pool. This is one feature, and we have different options are available into this, and we can use it as per requirement, as the company requirement, as the corporate requirement sort of things. So once we're going for the practical things, and then you will just find out that sort of options into the Cognito, and then you can just easily understand what is going on and what needs to be changed from your end. The importing existing users, you can also import the users from this into the user pools. So you can batch imports, you can different batch import, and one at a time migrations. You can just migrate some sort of users, right? Suppose you have company have 1,000 number of active domain controllers users, so you can just importing sort of things is available into the Cognito. Okay, as you just import users by the uploading CSV file sort of things, and you can also migration at one time is also available sort of things, functions is available into the Cognito. Okay, so these are some feedback of the customers, what happened, what they are this once they're using this particular Cognito, and this is serverless architecture platform, and many sensitive customers require some authentication strategies, products, formations, right? So that sort of things is available. So verifying your email and phones, I already talked about that. We have just provided some mobile number of the users into this Cognito, and then it is providing some authentications, verifying whether it is a right user or not right user sort of things. Using aliases in Amazon Cognito user pools, so we can also use aliases. Okay, so user pools name, places name, we can a username value must be provided into a sign up, but it could be generated by the application, not exposed by the user, and phone numbers and email address must be unique and must be verified before they can be used and sign in. Okay, so we have the different aliases we can use it. Once the user is authentication, first of all it will check the email address, the phone number, and the date of birth, whatever the things will be provided into this, right? So that is all about into this, and this is the application, the sign in informations that we can use for mobile applications, and we can also use from the web application sort of things. And then the social identity of is open, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, what sort of application. Okay, and you can just create a user pool same time, and you can have enterprise identity, SAML. Okay, they are working together, and then once it is authentications on and provide authorization same time, and then you can just open it, the AWS resources, your applications, and data synchronization sort of things is going on, and what type of what IAM policy you can provide it to the particular user when the user coming from the Facebook or Twitter, and then he can access the sort of AWS resources and API, and what type of the APIs will be calling from this particular user. Suppose this Facebook user is required, he need to he want the data of how many number of users are working on this particular applications. Okay, so API, he will send the API to the particular from this to the particular DynamoDB, and then DynamoDB calling the particular applications, and then applications provide the how many number of users are accessed at the same time, right? So these are working together, and once you just migrate number of 1,000 number of users, right, into this Cognito sort of things, and then it will be data synchronization same time. how many numbers are deleted, how many numbers are available, and what type of policies will be changed of the particular user. So it will be synchronizing same time all the time. So this is the use cases of the particular Cognito, how this works looks like. And they have some different and pricing tier as well. The free 1000 MA user free, and then 50,000 after that it is $5.50, and next 9 lakhs you just find out some 4.60 requests. So these are some request sort of things in the pricing part of the MAUs. Right, Amazon Cognito Sync. So I already talking about this, syncing sort of things, stored application data preferences and state, and also cross device cross OS synchronization. So you can just cross OS synchronization at the same time. So these are the some things are working together. Okay. So the push for notification also is available. So once it is, we are going to the practical things, then we have specific options available for the push or the sort of notification, so that you can just take a look, so the user can get it at the same time, right? So that is about what Cognito is all about. You can just you have this applications are web applications and your mobile applications, and you can just log in through the different third-party applications like Facebook, Twitter, or your different accounts, and then it will directly communicate through the Cognito, and the Cognito is what, as per the user profiles, it is what is providing the authentication sort of things, and then it is checking the policy sort of things, and then you can access the resources from the AWS, same sort of things. So that is all about the Cognito. So we are just talking about the second things. We are just going to talking about some inspector sort of things. So inspector is how it is used for. Amazon Inspector is an automated security assessment service that helps you to test the network accessibility of your Amazon EC2 instances and security state of your applications and running on those instances. So it is a basically security assessment tools, is we can say that Inspector is about. Okay, and you test your network accessibility of your Amazon EC2 instances, right? So it is testing your network and your security assessment of your EC2 instances and others, and security state of your applications, right? In your corporate environment, you are running the EC2 instances, you are running some network sort of things, and then you are working on the application sort of things you have created on the AWS environment, right? So whether the inspector is basically providing some sort of inspecting whether the things are you have rightly managed sort of things, right? Suppose you are working in an environment, and then you have to just find out where are the loopholes, whether the vulnerabilities are available, right? So you have to check the vulnerabilities of your existing network, like like applications, like EC2 instances. What are the vulnerabilities, and then you have to fix the vulnerability same time. That is the important case studies for the Amazon Inspector. So Amazon Inspectors allows you to automate security vulnerability assessments and throughout your development and deployment pipeline or against strategic production systems. This allows you to make security testing a more regular occurrence of the part of your deployment and IT operations, right? Amazon Inspector is an API-driven service that uses the optional agent, making it easy to deploy, manage, and automate. Amazon Inspector assessments are offered to you as a predefined rules package mapped on to common security best practice and vulnerability definitions, right? So the Amazon Inspector is basically in the previous in the old times, old era, what happened, we have to doing for the penetration testing sort of things, and we have to hire a specific person for the assessment sort of things, and we have to provide some sort of hardware tools to or software tools to inspect the security assessment, network assessment, or different assessment of system assessment sort of things. But in the Amazon Inspector is providing the security, network, and system and EC2 instances sort of inspection. Okay, so this is the features is also available into the Amazon, right? So Amazon Inspector is doing sort of things. Amazon Inspector consists of a technology that analyze your network configurations. So it is analyze your network and configurations first thing. And Amazon developed agent is that installed in your operating system and EC2 instances, right? So there is this agent need to be installed on the operating system of EC2 instances, and security assessment service that uses temperature of agent and AWS configurations assess the instances for the security exposure of the vulnerabilities. So that the matter of fact that the EC2 instance is basically on the security system, or what application sort of what vulnerabilities are available, right? You have configured perfectly fine, but there is some uh, some vulnerabilities are available in your network or EC2 instances or some of the applications. So it will show you that this is the inspector you can use to providing some sort of information that these are some vulnerabilities, you need to fix it. So yeah, and the important AWS does not guarantee that following the provided recommendations to resolve any potential security issues. The findings generated by the Amazon inspector depend on your choice of your rules package and included for each important template. The presence of non-AWS components on your system and other factors you can responsible for security applications is right. So what type of rules, what type of policies, what type of agents you have installed on the AWS inspector, and then AWS inspector will be assessing your network resources and your system resources of your application resources, and then it will provide you the suggestions, the guidelines, the advice that you need to be fixed at the same time, right? So what are the benefits of the particular inspector? The Amazon inspector enables you to quickly and easily access your security of your AWS resources for forensics, troubleshooting, or active auditing purposes at your own pace, either as you can progress through the development um, of your infrastructure or in regular basis of stable production environment, right? So you can just provide a stable production same time and easily accessible, and you just provide some troubleshooting sort of things and accurate auditing sort of things. Like suppose your company is going for the auditing of ISO 27000 in information system security, right? And then there are some glitches is available on your network infrastructure of your cloud, right? Of your applications, or some bugs are available. So you need to fix it. It is the tools you can use for the active auditing purposes same time your own piece, right? And Amazon inspector enables you to focus on more complex security problems by offloading and the overall security assessment of your transaction of the automated service. So you can just going for offloading, and you can automate sort of things, then what's going on, and how to what fix it, and how you can what complex security problems are coming, and you can just what slowly you can just smooth your and the automation of your existing things in the AWS. By using Amazon Inspector, you can gain deeper understanding of AWS resources, because Amazon Inspector findings are protected through the analysis of real activity and the configuration data of the resources, right? So you have the different things, so you can just doing it, and things as available, right? So they have some different pricings also available in this inspector. So this is the slide of not gamers. We are just talking about, yeah, I think this one, yeah, inspector is all about. Yes. So the inspector conceptual is the application sort of thing. So you can just going right, something that you are want to inspect accesses a set of instances defined by text that you accomplish the business goals. So this is the application sort of things. You can go for the assessment sort of things, and instructions to analyze and applications for your security vulnerabilities, right? You can just create the rules and packages, and then you can just go into findings. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 things you need to configure in the inspector, and then you can just use for the findings and sort of things, and potential security issues and applications. So you need to create a Linux server into this. So what is Inspector is all about? Inspector is a service to help the secure and applications that you run on the top of the AWS, right? Inspector does not change the shared responsibility model. It helps you reduce your effort, right? So this is the question, and this is the answer. Inspector is designed to run during a continuous integrations deployment pipeline. Inspector is not designed for the done continuously, right? So it is not a feature that you have to just run it always, right? It is required when it is then in the vulnerabilities, and then we have to just find out some configuration items need to be changed, and then you can just run it at the same time. We intended the inspector to be used against the test environment, right? And inspector uses sensors that are in on host agents. So you can just install an agent on this, and then the inspector will always be using the test environment first of all. Suppose you created the test environment, and then you can just run it in inspector same time. By that just then it will show all the results same time, and then you just go for the production environment same time. So this is sort of things we can do it doing through the Inspector. Is inspector point in time or continuous? Inspector is a hybrid of these models, and at the beginning of the assessment, it collects configurations type then telemetry. For the test of the duration of the assessment, it collects behavioral telemetry. You can get most of securely value of the inspector when you access an application that is being exercised, for example, during the integration testing. So yeah, once you're going for the integration of testing of your applications or different sort of things, you can use it at the same time, but it is not a continual sort of things, right? So you have this particular documents are available on the AWS site, so you can just going to refer this particular link and you can just find out more information on this site. So launch or locate some EC2 instances in different origins. So first of all, you have to just check the inspector is different regions specific, available or not available, right? So now how do I get started? Inspectors console create an application. First of all, you just create an application, provide a tag key, and then create an assessment, pick the applications of some of those packages, and then the assessment, and then review your findings. So these are the four things you can just do it. 5 things you can just do it, doing it to run the inspector sort of things, right? In your environment. So the workflow is findings in inspector has attributes are like a tag, so you can just provide it some so the same sort of things, so you can just going to use it. So these are some documentation part you just find out on the AWS site, documentation part and inspector. Okay, so you can just find out the documentation of the particular things, and the other some different Amazon's tools and techniques you can just using it. Right, so these are some how do I get the reviews. So that's all about the inspectors we are just talking about. The KMS is basically the key management service. The AWS Key Management Service. AWS Key Management Service is a managed service that makes it easy for you to create and control the encryption keys used to encrypt your data, right? So once you creating your AWS EC2 instances, right, and you have to create your key, right? So the key is saved into the KMS, Key Management Service, right? So it is encrypt your keys, okay, encrypt your keys and encrypt your data same time. The master key is that you create in AWS KMS are protected by FIPS, different sort of things, cryptographic modules. And AWS KMS is integrated with the most other AWS services that encrypt your data with encryption keys that you manage. AWS KMS is also integrated with the AWS CloudTrail to provide encryption key usage logs to help you meet the routing or the regularity of the compliance needs. So we can say that the AWS Key Management Service is your whatever the password, like a password, and your password is saving the specific locations, and whether it is encrypted or not encrypted, your data is your key is encrypted or not encrypted. That sort of things, you just find out a specific locations, and that there the number of keys are available, so you can just use it. Master key, and this is your secondary key, and this is encrypted sort of things, and that sort of all the what password or you can say that in the AWS key you will find out a specific console same time, right? So there is no use of what if you forgot your keys and then you just remind again that where is my key. So you can just going to find AWS Key Management Service, and you just find out all the keys in a single way. So you can perform the following management actions on the key management: create, describe, and key master. So that is the enable, disable master keys, create and view agents on sort of things, and that sort of things we can just create in the AWS KMS. The specific centralized locations where you can just find out all the keys of your administrations, and then it will also providing what the logs on the CloudTrail that these are the keys are available, and your keys are encrypted, decrypted sort of things, and or you just find out all of the next generation random numbers, tables, cryptographic applications. So that is the only things is available of the KMS sort of things, and they have key management services specific pricing are there. So once you're going for the key management sort of things, and then you have to click on this particular thing, and then you will find out the pricing sort of things, right? So this is another slide for the KMS. So once we're going for the particular things, AWS Key Management Service, the one-click encryption, centralized key management, a repository is available, create, delete, and view set policies, enforced automatic key rotations, visibility into changes in CloudTrail, config tools are available, right? So these are some locations that you can just find out for the key management service, and what type of key, what are the resources are used for the keys. So these are some resources are used for the keys. We can say that key integration are available into some sort of things. So this is the hardware, software, symmetric key data encryption primer, and the plain text data, and encrypted data is also about, and the encrypted data storage. So there is a specific storage are available. You can store your data sometimes of your keys. Key questions are considered with any solutions. Where are the key stored? Hardware you own or hardware cloud providers own. So you can say that where the keys are stored. So is there any hardware is with the AWS or not, and the cloud providers using the hardware or not. So where the keys are used, client software you control, and sort of things, and who can use those keys, and use the applications that are have permissions. So these are some important questions. It will be asked by your client or your customers, and then you can just provide some sort of answers for them, right? How clients and AWS keys are typically integrated with the KMS. So key management systems is key providing, and then it is stored in the S3. So these are the sources are using the keys, and then the keys are, what, you can just create a customer master key, and then you can use it anywhere, right? So once you're creating the AWS EC2 instance, then it is asking to you, do you going for the same key which you are creating earlier, or you have to create a new key, right? So you can just use one master key, and then you can use it anywhere on sort of instance at the same time, right? So that is about AWS services used for KMS service. So clients calls KMS sort of things, and then it's going to be working. So third-party evidence as these controls, and these are some the third-party tools and third-party things are available, that your keys is not HIPAA compliance and ISO 27000 compliance, and Germany C5 compliance is all about. So there is a guaranteed things are providing by the AWS team, that is your keys is not going to anywhere. Okay, typical web application stack and KMS stack is going about in web tier in this, and then the key account management service and this particular key management service, the KMS, right, sort of things, and then you can encrypt it or non-encrypted sort of things, and you can just going to do it. Okay, so the database tree is also, we have just some database enable encryption or not enable. So once we're going for the RDS sort of things in the next few classes, then we can find out, then we have to enable the encryption or non encryption sort of things, right? And the S3 also, this is a KMS, AWS KMS things are available, so you can just provide some encrypted sort of things, right? Okay, so these are some use cases of the KMS, and you can just find out all sort of things, and in the cloud tail, that's what's going on and what needs to be done from the other end. Okay, so this is all about from my end. So today we are just wrap up this class from this KMS, and tomorrow we will just going for some practical sort of things of Inspector, Cognito, KMS. Okay, so any questions regarding this?
No, it's fine.
Okay, so you can just going for some sort of this application theoretical conceptual, okay, and then we will going tomorrow for some practical things tomorrow, and then we will wrap up this all sort of things. Okay, thank you for your time and have a nice day. We will connect you tomorrow at 7 a.m. sharp, right? Thank you.
Thank you.